So these are, if you're following along on your slides, these are a list of our top trading partners: China, Canada, Mexico, Japan, the EU, and South Korea. If you look at this list of our top 6 trading partners, we are currently in negotiations, have some sort of soft negotiation, have some sort of trade dispute, or are working to create relationships with all 6 of these countries. And we're going to talk about that a little bit more in depth later. Obviously, the elephant in the room is China, and that's what I want to spend a majority of our time on later today. But just consider that when we're talking through some of the fundamentals that I see changing in the international markets here to come. So what's coming for fiscal year 2019? The USDA put out a projection just recently saying that this year, in 2019, we're going to see the smallest trade surplus that we've ever seen since 2007. So just to remind you all what a trade surplus is, I'm sure you're all very smart folks, but a trade surplus is basically the difference between the product that we export and the products that we're importing. So ag continually trades at a trade surplus. Ag is one of the most strongest economies when we look at exporting to countries worldwide. And so for the year of 2019, the USDA is forecasting that we're going to be at $141.5 billion in exports, in ag commodity exports. They're projecting that we import then, in turn, about $127 billion. So we're bringing in $127 billion of ag products and ag commodities from all across the world. That difference then is about $14 billion, and as I mentioned, that is going to be the lowest trade surplus since 2007. So what does that mean for the future? Here again, we can see this trade surplus and trade balance. You'll see here in 2005, we were at a really close, still a trade surplus, but a really small margin. 2007 is the year that the USDA is forecasting that we're going to see trends like that again. So let's think back to 2007. That's what they're expecting to see here in 2019. Of course, there are things that we can't change that might impact this 2019 marketing year: weather, trade. There are a lot of things on our home front that we can't control. But that's what's coming ahead. If you look here, this is a slide of, this top one here is kind of a breakdown state by state of who our top trading partners are. You'll see here that Iowa's top trading partner for ag exports is Canada. And if you look across the Midwest, all across the US, you'll see that almost every single one of the top trading partners for each state happens to be a country that we're in trade negotiations with, that we're in some sort of trade dispute with. If you think back to that slide a couple of slides ago, those top 6 trading partners, we rely heavily on those state by state and nationwide for our ag exports and ag trade.